Hi, I'm Jules, and if you've read my latest essay, Corporate Killed Our Craft, you know I've been thinking a lot about the disconnection many of us have been feeling between the work we used to do in corporate life and the work we actually do now. If you haven't read my Substack, that's totally fine. This video will make sense and hopefully give you something really practical to work with. Here's the core of what I've been sitting with. A lot of us left the corporate world feeling like generalists. We're capable, adaptable, experienced, but somehow we've lost that sharpness. We've done a bit of everything. We've floated between functions, bridged the gaps, filled in the blanks. But now when someone asks what we actually do, we tend to hesitate. We say things like, I can do a lot, or I'm pretty adaptable. But deep down, we're not sure of our edge anymore. And part of that is structural. Corporate systems were built to reward range, not deep craft. You rise up the ladder by becoming more available, more diplomatic, more across all of the things. In that climb, something subtle happens. You get further and further away from the work that made you feel grounded. And now AI is starting to automate all of those repeatable procedural tasks we were once trained to be great at. All of that reporting and those strategic decks, which means we're being forced to confront a deeper question. What do I actually do that only I can do? This video is my way of helping you start to answer that question. Let's begin with a quick reflection. If you've ever struggled to position yourself or felt unsure about what makes your work distinct, then this is for you. I want you to ask yourself 3 simple questions. 1, what do you love doing and could do for hours without fatigue? Forget what's on your LinkedIn or what you've been paid to do in the past. This is about your energy. What kind of work makes time disappear? 2, what do people consistently ask you for help with? When colleagues or friends come to you, what are they looking for? Is it advice? Is it insight? A sense of calm? A way forward? I want you to start tracking those patterns. What kind of results or transformations do you reliably create? Maybe you bring clarity to chaos. Maybe you unlock energy in stuck teams, or maybe you help ideas become reality. Own the things that happen when you show up. Now I want you to try shaping your answer into this single sentence. I had a go at creating my own. I help women who feel stuck or unfulfilled in corporate life transition into portfolio careers that align with their passions without burnout, hustle, or sacrificing income. I want to be clear here that you're not crafting a tagline. You're just drawing a sharper outline around your value to give you a sense of ownership about what you do. Now I want to talk about the label many of us carry, being a generalist. Sometimes this word can get a bad rap, and it often sounds vague as if you don't have a real specialty, but I really want you to hear this. Being a generalist isn't the problem. It's actually fantastic. But being unclear about what you do is the problem. You don't need to force yourself into a niche that doesn't fit, but you do need to get more specific about how your generalism shows up. In my work, I've seen that most generalists tend to follow certain patterns. I call these range types. And when you recognize your pattern, things can start to click into place. So let me walk you through them. Here are a few of the archetypes I see again and again. The first up is the multidisciplinary builder. This is someone blending creative and technical skills, designing systems, building prototypes, and making ideas a reality. If that's you, your positioning might look like, I help founders turn half-formed ideas into real testable products, blending design and operational strategy to launch and learn fast. Or you could be the strategic connector. You light up when you connect people, projects, and ideas. You spot hidden value in bringing the right minds together. And you might say something like, I help organizations stuck in silos unlock momentum by connecting the right people, surfacing shared goals, and sparking collaborations that move strategy forward. You might be the translational generalist. You live between disciplines, business, tech, and creativity, and you translate complexity into actionable plans. And then there's a conceptual futurist. You're always scanning the horizon. You love designing systems, anticipating change, and creating future fit solution. Or you might be an adaptive problem solver. Messy situations or ambiguous problems are your playground. You bring clarity where others seek chaos. So your phrase becomes, I work with teams overwhelmed by complexity, bringing structure, clarity, and momentum to messy challenges where no playbook exists. Or you could be the creative integrator. You fuse structural intuition, logic, and creativity, and you help leaders and teams innovate with purpose. When you see yourself in one of these, you might realize that you don't need to pick just one skill. You might say that you need to own your pattern of value. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. Which one of these feels most like me? How would my work change if I named that clearly? What happens when I stop calling myself a generalist and start calling myself insert the archetype that most resonated with you? What I want to close with is the world of work is changing really fast. And in this shift, the vague generalist, the person who's good at a bit of everything, is no longer enough. What we need now are people who can say, this is my shape, this is how I create value, and this is where I'm most alive. That's craft. And if you've lost touch with it, or never got a chance to really find it, now's your moment. So if this resonated, the full essay is up on my Substack. It's called Corporate Killed Our Craft. You'll find more context, examples, and insights there, including the references and ideas that shaped this short video. And if you do read it, I'd love to know what lands with you, what made you pause, and what made you reflect. Because craft isn't something you either have or don't. It's something you return to, you refine, sharpen again and again.